Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another amazing week of College Success Coaching. I am Eric Allen, and let's get started. We got some interesting things to talk about this week. One article that talks about why it doesn't matter where you went to college, even though you know it so did. And we're going to discuss something interesting, which is building relationships and making them work for you as you get into the late stages of college. So let's start with the article of the week. The article of the week you can find in the chat. I posted the link, and if you're watching this on YouTube, it is in the description below, so check that out and click on it and you can follow along. If you have done that already, you would see that the title of this is seemingly counterintuitive to all of the work you did to get into the college you got into. It says it's time to tell your kids it doesn't matter where they go to college. This is from Time, and this piece is an ideas piece, which is basically an opinion piece. So, if there's no research or really light on the research, bear with them. They're not making factual statements. They're giving you an opinion. But I want to go through what their opinion is, and I want you to hear what they say. And then I want to talk about what that means and how we can kind of glean something valuable from this, even though I fundamentally disagree with the author. So I just want to make that clear. My bias is against the author. But when my daughter, Jorah, was in high school, she went to a talk I gave on the adolescent brain, during which I pointed out that high school grades don't predict success very well. On the way home, she said, "Great talk, Dad, but I bet you don't really believe that bit about grades." I assured her that I did. To prove it, I offered to pay her $100 if she got a C on her next report card in any subject. We've all heard the familiar anxiety-inducing nostrums that a screw-up in high school will follow you for the rest of your life, that if you don't get into Harvard or Yale, you'll never reach the C-suite. Some of this stuff, I don't know who this person's talking to that says things like you're never going to reach the C-suite. If you're one of those people, please comment below or send me in the Q&A. I really want to know who says, if you don't go to Harvard or Yale, you'll never reach the C-suite. And I find it interesting in this article, if you click on the C-suite, because it's a clickable link, it goes to another Time article, a little self-serving there, The Boss. Mars Wrigley, President Tracy Massey is proof that it's possible to move up in your company. Okay, so there's proof that you can move up in your company, and that's why going to Harvard and Yale will get you not the C. I'm really confused. It seemingly is just saying something just to say something. So I want to be clear about that. I don't know anybody who actually has these conversations. So again, let me know if that's not true, but I'd be really interested in that. So again, why don't we tell our kids the truth about success? She doesn't put, or he doesn't put quotes in there, but I do. We could start with the fact that only 1/3 of adults hold degrees from four-year colleges. That statistic's not accurate, actually. Or that you'll do equally well in terms of income, job satisfaction, and life satisfaction. Again, I'm not sure where these statistics come from, so let's take a look. One comes from The Hill. Census, more Americans have college degrees than ever before. So let me get this straight. You want to start with the truth by saying only 1/3 of adults hold degrees from four-year colleges, and your reference is from an article that shows that more people than ever are getting college degrees. So is it the truth? What's your name? William, is it the truth? I don't think so. And how about income and job satisfaction and life satisfaction are equal? This comes from Pew Research. Public and private college grads rank about equally in life satisfaction. Again, college graduates, okay? Not all of you who go to college get to graduate. They're the same Pew Research place that just did this article that private colleges versus public colleges end up with equally the same life satisfaction. That Pew Research statistic also came out with that 46% of people who start college don't get a degree, even within 6 years. So again, you're citing something, but you're kind of burying what it really talks about. Yes, if you graduate from college, no matter where you go to college, you're one of the successful people. But that's half of all. A dropout from Harvard and a dropout from Albany, they're both dropouts from college. Do they have necessarily different connections and networks? Yes, but probably that was also true beforehand, right? So this is a really, it's it's very dishonest. Well, and again, I go over this, and I know I harp on this every week when we do the article of the week, but it's because it's so important to understand news. And I'm not going to go into fake news or whatever. I'm not going to get caught in one of those things because I don't believe in fake versus real. I believe in critique. Somebody is telling you something, and what they're using to cite to boost their opinion directly contradicts or doesn't really support their opinion. This is what we would call somebody doing a ruse. It doesn't really hold up under scrutiny. So, but let's continue. Whether you go to an elite private college or a less selective state university, or that there are many occupations through which Americans can make a living, many of which do not require a college degree. Now, again, I actually know that's true, but let's see where they get that from. They get this from BLS.gov. And 37% of May 2016 employment in occupations typically requiring post-secondary education. So basically saying 30% of the job market's locked out if you don't have a college degree. Again, it's probably not where they're going with this, is that, hey, don't get a degree, but that, yes, there are many opportunities. The majority of the market doesn't require that. And actually, there's other research that backs it up, that many people who graduate from an undergraduate and even graduate school are doing jobs that don't even require those degrees. So there's a lot of sense to what's being said in that statement. So I can agree with that statement and disagree with this whole sense of the article. The biggest reason why I have trouble with this is this article is being written as if, duh, why don't we just tell everybody the truth that college isn't that important and getting a C in school doesn't really matter? And that's not really the case. It's more like you'll be okay, but it would have been better if you didn't get the C. Paying your kid $100 to do worse in school than they could, to me, is seemingly counterintuitive, and I really hope this person's not a psychologist. It seems like they are, though, so that always worries me. Anyway, I am not against being a good student. Yeah, you are. You paid your student to get a C, your kid. And there are clear advantages to doing well in school. Well, that's not clear from the previous paragraph. But you don't need to be a top student or go to a highly selective college to have successful and fulfilling lives. That's true. We got to the point where we can agree. I love places we can agree. I hate being so angry all the time. I need coffee. I think I'm getting too angry. Okay. I traveled back in time to a place where this doesn't bother me anymore because we agree. The path to success is not clearly so narrow as we think. True. We've all heard the stories of the college dropout who went on to found a wildly successful company. Zuckerberg, right? But again, and I don't like to use anecdotal stories to show that success comes from dropping out of school. I don't want to encourage that, obviously. I mean, you're in college, or you're watching this and you don't go to college. So either I don't know why you're here because you already went through college, or you're going to go to college, in which case, keep watching. We've got more for you. Long story short, I managed to do pretty well in life, and I credit my failure in graduate school with leading me to a career more in line with my skill set. So, I mean, and then he tells an anecdotal story about how he was a C+ student in high school, and he flunked out of grad school. Not ideal. You know what would be great? Doing great in grad school, opening up a ton of opportunities and choosing the one that best fits your skill set. But what's great to know is that you can make mistakes. And I think that's what this person's trying to say. The problem with the stories that we're telling our kids is that they foster fear and competition. Whoa, pump the brakes. Fostering fear, you're right. I mean, it's not always great to foster fear, unless you guys are just not afraid at all. Like, if you were not afraid at all of failure in life, we should probably try to instill some fear. Nothing quite motivates people like fear of failure. Like, you could be under a bridge if you don't get a job and you're not successful. And since maybe you're not so suited for manual labor, you should probably go to school so you can get a job where you're not doing manual labor, or something that requires a skill set that you don't have. So, and competition, you are in competition right now. With kids in your grade, at your level, going to graduating this year, all of your peers are also in competition with you. People in your age range in this country are your competition. Anybody in the job market that's in the same area as you, you're in competition. It's not like you can get a sense of fear that is fostered, a sense of competition that's fostered, and it's not true and it doesn't come from anywhere. You could be over afraid, that's fair. But competitive, if you're not competitive, you lose because you have competition. So you would think that fostering that sense of rational competition would be a good thing. But again, I digress. This false paradigm. I'm going to power through this. It affects high-achieving kids for whom a rigid view of the path to success creates unnecessary anxiety. Fair, anxiety is not great. And low-achieving kids, many of whom conclude at a young age that they will never be successful and adopt a why try it all attitude. Again, I agree with that, and there's definitely ways to steer people into a better attitude. Many of these young people engage in one of the most debilitating forms of self-talk, telling themselves either I have to but I can't, or I have to but I hate it. The self-talk, the second one, is kind of useful sometimes. I don't like I have to but I can't. I would love I tried to and I couldn't, but that would mean you actually attempted and found out that it didn't work out. But I have to but I can't implies that you already have the omniscience to know that if you attempt, you won't succeed. I don't really buy that. I don't buy that at all. And what's the point of doing anything if it doesn't have any kind of risk to it? So I have to, but I hate it. There's going to be some things you hate. I mean, it's not like you always love doing your homework. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to stay up at work late when you don't want to, and you might hate that. But hating something you have to do is different than hating your life. So what this concludes with, why do we encourage our children to embrace this delusional view of what it takes to be successful? I've asked various school administrators why they don't just tell kids the truth about college, that where you go makes very little difference later in life. And they'll shrug and say, even if we did, no one would believe it. One confided to me, again, anonymous sources and no research to back this up, we would get angry calls and letters from parents who believed that if their children understood the truth, they would not work hard in school and would have second-class lives. If you don't work up to your potential, and you don't have a passion and you don't care about what you're doing, you're not going to do as well as you could have. That's just a fact. And I don't need a guidance counselor or an administrator or a psychologist who wants their own kid to get a C in a class they could get an A in to tell me that. When you have potential, it is just that. It's potential. If you do not reach your potential because you did not try, it's on you. If you didn't reach your potential because of luck, it's not on you. If you don't reach your potential because outside forces were against you actively, it's not on you. But you got to try. And the only way you're going to try is to understand you're in competition with others, to try as hard as you can, and to really believe in yourself that you can do it. And yes, doing things you hate sometimes. What I wanted to point out about this article that I actually agree with, because I can't deal with the end of the paragraph, because it's an opinion and it's just constantly hammering the same opinion over and over again. So if you'd like your eyes to bleed a little bit, then go ahead and finish that article. But what I want to talk about is the fact that wherever you're in school right now, and some of you are in Harvard, I know, hi, what's up? Some of you are at Cornell, some of you are at Brandeis, I get it. Just because you're at great colleges doesn't mean you're going to be successful. There might be 10 slots available for an amazing internship this summer. And if you don't start applying in November, December for those and starting to make those connections and talk to people to make them like you as a human being so they actually want to help you get those internships, it doesn't matter that you went to a great school. You didn't get one of those amazing opportunities. You have then put yourself down a tier, and you probably have okay opportunities, which is fine. You've got opportunities, and we're going to make the most out of it, and I'll help you with that along the way. But likewise, if you're at a school that you got a scholarship to go to, and that's why you went, because you could have gone to a better school, but this one gave you some money, fear not. It means you're the best of the best there. And that means you have every right to try for those 2 or 3 great, amazing opportunities that are probably on par with an Ivy League opportunity. Like I had an opportunity to work with IBM directly with the head programmer of their voice recognition software. I didn't go to Harvard, helpful hint. But there was one opportunity in my school to get it. I was that person that got that. Because I knew I wanted to do it. I wanted to do the best I could. I grabbed at every opportunity that I saw was the best. I made great relationships with the people in power at my college. What's wrong with that? What's the difference? You're going there anyway. You're paying to go there anyway. Hopefully less because you got a scholarship. But you're paying to go there. Get the most out of it you can. So I'm going to finish on this analogy. College is like a giant vending machine, and it's full of all the amazing and wonderful things that will make you more successful and happy in life. But you're only pushing 1 or 2 buttons on that machine, class, homework, class, homework. And that's just going to keep giving you what the bare minimum that machine can provide you, which is information, maybe education, and a degree at the end. But if you really look at all of the things on offer at your college and you take advantage of them because you know it's going to make your life better, it doesn't matter where you go to school. You're going to do great. You're going to do better than great. You're going to reach your potential. And that's amazing and exciting and fun. And that's the article of the week. So I wanted to go over that first because I do want to talk about the other part here, which is relationships late in college. So essentially, you guys have been building relationships with peers and hopefully some of your professors over the course of the last 2 years. Maybe a coach, maybe somebody that's the head of the investment club, whatever club, DJ, whatever. You've made connections with people, right? It's time to start cashing in on those connections. What I'm going to need you to all start doing is making a list of the people that you think could get you connected with an interesting job or internship or opportunity to build your resume or get a great experience that would be unique for you. Now, this unique meaning this does not have to be related to your major, but you will know something, you'll have a skill that other people don't have, or you'll be able to, in your head, you've figured out a way that those connect that people don't typically connect. So that'll bring you like what's called a niche market. That's great for you for the future. So make a list of those people, and it can be from anywhere on your campus, but look to the adults. Look, not that you're not an adult, but you know what I mean, like the old people. Look at those people and make a list. I want you to start intentionally building and fostering those relationships. Just try it out. Coffee, meeting at the library, doing a lunch, doing a snack, doing office hours, talking to them late after you're done doing the work that you're doing with them. Foster some of those relationships because you need to start talking about that now, because most companies, just for the sake of internships, let's say, are making the decisions about who they're hiring for May and June for internships like by December. So you need to have headshots, you need to have your CV, and you need to have these connections ready to go. So out the gate in November, beginning of November to the end of December, before you leave on break, you've had face-to-faces or emails and consideration from these companies where at least they know you're on board for their timeline, because they might not tell you until February or March that you're in, but to get in the front door and make sure you get something great, you need to start talking about it now. So foster those relationships. If you're having trouble with that and you're not sure what I mean, throw it in the questions and answers. I'm more than happy to do that. If you forget what it is you were going to ask me and then you think about it later, email me, Eric Allen at collegesuccesscoaching.com. Especially if you're a newbie and you're jumping onto the site midweek and this is a pre-recording, email me. I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it. If we need to, let's do a one-to-one. You can go right on the website and schedule that. So, I'm looking forward to that. I really hope that you have some things to tell me about and we can talk about next week. And if there's no other questions, we're going to call it.
Did you like that video? Did you find it interesting? Do you want to find out more about how to get more out of life? That's a lot of mores, and we can do even more than that. So if you would like to check out our website, www.collegesuccesscoaching.com, you can see what it's all about. I answer live questions every week. I have videos with experts in all kinds of fields that can help you to learn more about what they do and what you could be doing, and even more. We have resources on the website. It's a blast. So go ahead, check out the website. It's risk-free. 2 weeks on me. You're welcome. And otherwise, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can get all these article reviews, as well as every once in a while, I'll do a live Periscope where I'll answer any questions anybody sends me throughout that time. So keep on keeping on. We'll see you soon.